Now moving along to the shooting phase. In your shooting phase, you can shoot with models armed with ranged weapons. First, you must pick one of your units to shoot with. You may not pick a unit that advanced or fell back this turn, or a unit that is within 1 inch of an enemy unit. Unless otherwise stated, each model in the unit attacks with all of the ranged weapons it is armed with. After all of the unit's models have fired, you can choose another unit to shoot with until all eligible units that you want to shoot with have done so. And please note that there are some units out there and some armies that have special rules that allow them to ignore some of the restrictions stated in the previous statement. Having chosen a shooting unit, let's say this Death Guard Land Raider right here on the left, you must pick the target unit or units for the attacks. In order to target an enemy unit, a model from that unit must be within the range of the weapon being used, as listed on its profile, and be visible to the shooting model. If unsure, stoop down and get a look from behind the shooting model to see if any part of the target is visible. For the purposes of determining visibility, a model can see through other models in its own unit. Models cannot target enemy units that are within 1 inch of friendly models. The risk of hitting your own troops is too great. The weapons a model has are listed on its datasheet. If a model has several weapons, it can shoot all of them at the same target, or it can shoot each at a different enemy unit. Similarly, if a unit contains more than one model, they can shoot at the same or different targets as you choose. In either case, declare how you will split the shooting unit's shots before any dice are rolled, and resolve all of the shots against one target before moving on to the next. And so what this would mean, if we take our example Land Raider right here on the left, when it is chosen to shoot, it would have to declare where all of its weapons are firing before rolling any dice to resolve any of the shots. So I would not be able to have the Heavy Bolter shoot the Pink Horrors and then decide based off of how that went, declare where the last cannons are shooting. I would have to declare both weapons before resolving any shots, because it is supposed to simulate all of the weapons being fired simultaneously. What this also could mean is that, let's say the Land Raider declares to fire everything that it has at the Demon Prince. If I start with the 2 last cannons on the side, and those last cannons kill the Demon Prince, the Twin Heavy Bolter then goes to waste. I cannot redeclare that it will attack the Pink Horrors instead if I've already declared that the Heavy Bolter would attack the Demon Prince. So you do have to worry about putting too many shots on a single target and overkilling it, thereby wasting some shots that could have gone on a different target. Each time a model shoots a ranged weapon, it will make a number of attacks. You roll 1 dice for each attack being made. The number of attacks a model can make with a weapon, and therefore the number of dice you can roll, is found on the weapon's profile, along with the weapon's type. A weapon's type can impact the number of attacks it can make. And what is meant by that is that some weapons have different attributes on how they are fired based off of how close the enemy is and whether or not the model has moved. One weapon type is rapid fire weapons, which means that if your opponent is within half of the maximum range that the weapon has, you get to fire twice as many shots. So for example, this Plague Marine has a bolt gun, which is rapid fire 24 inches. What that means is that if the enemy is within 12 inches, he gets to fire twice as many shots. The last cannons and Heavy Bolter on this Land Raider are a heavy weapon type, which means that if the model moves, normally it would have to subtract 1 from hit rolls when rolling to hit. However, this Land Raider has a specific special rule that allows it to ignore the penalty for moving and firing a heavy weapon, but that's getting too much into specifics. So when playing, make sure to check the weapons that your units have and any special abilities that correspond with those weapon types. Finally, some models are noted as being a character on their datasheet. These heroes, officers, prophets, and warlords are powerful individuals that can have a great impact on the course of a battle. The swirling maelstrom of the battlefield can make it difficult to pick out such individuals as targets, however. A character can only be chosen as a target in the shooting phase if they are the closest visible enemy unit to the model that is shooting. This does not apply to characters with a wounds characteristic of 10 or more due to their sheer size. So for example, this Demon Prince here on the right has a wounds characteristic of 8, which means that because this squad of pink horrors, which are friendly to the Demon Prince, are standing in front of him, in between the Demon Prince and the Land Raider is not able to target the Demon Prince until the pink horrors are gone. However, there are some units and some weapons out there that give you the ability to target a character even if it isn't the closest visible enemy unit. So make sure to check all of your special abilities and data sheets. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.